Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just going to do a really quick introduction because this is my first video. I'm Lily and I have two Boer Abyssinian guinea pigs. I've got Piglet and I've got Percy, and they are both at the minute 10 weeks old. I rescued them just under a week ago, so I just want to talk about a few tips and tricks. Hello. On the first 48 hours of having new guinea pigs and bringing new guinea pigs home. This is just going to help the bonding process and the taming process. You're going to start off on a good foot and make a good first impression to your guinea pigs. Let's get into the video. So tip number one, just before you go and get your guinea pigs, I would research your guinea pigs. So if they're going to be a rescue or a breeder, then it's easier to find out this information. If you're getting them from a pet shop, sometimes it's a bit harder because you might not know the guinea pigs that you are going to get until you go and see the ones that you want and collect them. So the first thing I would ask is about their diet. What food they are on, what pellets they are on, what vegetables they like and don't like. If you're able to find this out, it makes the preparation so much easier because you were able to kind of buy them first, and it just kind of helps when they do feel comfortable to start eating and they are eating their favourite vegetables. It's kind of point number two is find out where they are drinking from. So if it's a bottle or a bowl, this kind of helps you be a bit more prepared on what you need to buy for when they get home. So if they are rescues, I would find out their background, find out why they are in a rescue centre and what information that you might need to know about them, how they were treated previously, if they're slightly older, then any taming that's happened, and just how they are with interacting with other people. And the obvious ones, find out their age, sex and the breed. The next point I want to make is travelling with your guinea pigs. This is probably going to be the most stressful time for you and your guinea pigs, is getting them from A to B. So I use this carrier with my guinea pigs. It's quite big, I think it's a cat carrier, but it's the only one I could find. I included a blanket and a little snuggle sack for them just so it'd keep them warmer, they had somewhere to hide and they were just a bit more secure. I put in some hay that I rescued these guys from. Some of the hay that they had in their home there I put in the travel on, which I would also put in the cage once they got home. This kind of meant there was a familiar smell and a familiar taste to them. I also put in some cucumber because it was very hard to add a bottle of water. Cucumbers are quite hydrating, which is why I included one. They're most probably not going to want to eat or drink. They're probably going to be too scared and too stressed out. This is completely normal. Just try and make the travel home with them as quick and as quiet as you can. They're going to be hearing new sounds, they've got cars around them, they've got the car that they are in, they've got your voice as well. Have the cage ready, so when you get home with them, they can just go straight into their cage and hide away. Have fresh food in there, have fresh hay in there. If you can, take some of the hay or bedding from their previous home, I would do, just to kind of give them that familiar smell. And once you have them in this cage, I would just leave them there. Don't interact with them, don't come up and talk to them yet, and don't kind of try and handle them, just leave them there. You want a pea flake, don't you? Oh, of course you do. Fourth point is going to be, they're obviously getting used to new surroundings. That was a big jump. There's new smells and new sounds. So if you have a jumper or a dressing gown that you don't mind getting a little bit dirty, then I would put that in their cage, kind of fold it up and put it underneath for Heidi, just so they can kind of lay on it and just kind of get used to your scent. So later on, when they do kind of smell you a bit more, they're kind of recognising that a little bit. Just make sure that you have enough Heidis per guinea pig. So the amount of guinea pigs you have is the amount of Heidis you should have. This kind of helps with any dominance and also gives them more opportunity to hide. I think I have a very energetic popcorning piggy. And just kind of let them come out in their own time. Don't force anything, don't try and hand feed them yet, just kind of let them get used to what is new. Once you've gone to bed and woken up the next morning, just kind of come down and check for any movement from the guinea pigs. So check for poos around the cage, check that they've had something to eat and maybe to drink. If they haven't, then they're just not ready yet. Let them come out in their own time. This is Piglet the morning after I brought them home. I got them home about 6, 7 in the evening, and this is Piglet around 10 o'clock the next morning. So Piglet is still much more confident than Percy. He was coming out and exploring and eating, still very, very skittish if I moved or sat down or got up, which is obviously very normal. Percy didn't want anything to do with me or food or drinking. He didn't want to explore. I was worried about Percy not getting any food, so I put some food and some hay in the hidey for him, which he did move around within the hidey and eat, which made me feel a lot better. So the next 24 hours is mostly going to be about starting to build that bond and connection that you will have and form with your new guinea pigs. At the minute, it might feel like this is never going to happen, and they're just too scared and too skittish, and why don't they love me and why aren't they coming out? And don't be disheartened as to how they are acting. It might even take a week for the piggies to come out and be used to you, and that's absolutely fine. This isn't going to happen overnight. This is going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience. The next 24 hours I would spend on talking to them and just being more present by the cage. I sat by the cage pretty much all day. I had my phone, my iPad, a book. I was watching hundreds of guinea pig videos. I was talking to them. Get them used to your voice. This is such an important thing. Hello boys, you've had lots of pea flakes already, you. Just sit next to the cage pretty much like I am now. They probably won't approach you. Don't be disheartened by this, but at least they're starting to know your presence. They're starting to know you're there, you're going to be around a lot. So after day 2 of sitting next to the cage and talking to them a lot, whilst I was doing this, I found that they were sort of coming out more and more and exploring more and more and coming closer to me. If you have a playpen, just kind of attach it to the cage like I have. Let them run out into the playpen if they can, with you sitting in it. I sat in their playpen in the evening of day 2 for about 2 to 3 hours. I didn't really move. I just kind of sat there very, very still. Once I've been in the playpen for a few hours, I had some carrots with me and I just started hand feeding them. So I used a carrot, as you can see. I use it because it's a longer vegetable, so they didn't have to be so close to my hands. But I didn't go in their hidey because that is their safe zone. I let them kind of come to me, sniff out the carrot. I sat there for a long time with this carrot, but eventually they did come to me. And pretty much day 3 and 4, I just carried on sitting next to the cage, sitting in the playpen and hand feeding them. For day 2, I would start to put in a routine. Guinea pigs love routine. I'd start it for as soon as you can. When guinea pigs know routine, they kind of know what to expect and when to expect it, so they start to feel a little bit more secure. Do you want a pea flake? You're noisy piggies. You want another one? Okay, I'll give you another one. I'm going to do a whole separate video on hand feeding, so just keep an eye out for that. Just to wrap it up, the first 24 hours, get them home, get them in the cage and leave them with fresh food, fresh hay and fresh water. Don't force anything, let them come out in their own time. The morning after, just check that they've been out and explored. If they have, brilliant, then just kind of ignore them and just let them do their own thing. So day 2 is then just sitting next to the cage, being present with them, talking to them, just kind of be there. In the evening of day 2, start with a little bit of hand feeding if you think your guinea pig is ready for this. Don't set yourself any expectations of how your guinea pigs are supposed to be or is supposed to act within the first few days, if not weeks. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for the support. If you haven't already followed my Instagram, I will leave If you haven't already followed my Instagram, I will leave the link in the description box below. Also the name is on the screen now. Yes, well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you very soon. Bye!